It's Wednesday, April 8th. The markets in New York are open, and our big number this morning is $70 billion. It's a huge deal in the energy world. Royal Dutch Shell will buy Britain's BG Group, creating the second largest energy company in the world, only behind ExxonMobil in terms of value. The $70 billion price tag makes this deal the largest energy industry merger in over a decade. Hello, everyone. I'm Ty Hernandez in New York. The Shell BG Group deal comes amid the backdrop of a sharp drop in oil and natural gas prices. Here with more on this deal and what it means is Danielle Douglas-Gabriel at The Washington Post. Good morning, Danielle.
Good morning.
So let's take a step back. BG's group, Britain's BG Group, isn't exactly well known here. It was once a state-owned company. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, so BG Group is the outgrowth of British Group, which was a company that was owned by the government up until about 1999, and then it broke up and in its wake left BG Group, which is a smaller natural gas company, or at least smaller by industry standards, but it's a pretty significant player within the industry.
So this buy comes amid crude oil prices sinking. Why does consolidation make sense right now, and why was BG a good target?
It makes a lot of sense for both companies. I mean, right now, as you mentioned, oil prices have been on a steady slide since last summer, and as a result, a lot of these companies are losing money. Just last month, BG said that it would have to write down its oil and gas reserves by about $9 billion. So certainly, this merger offers a savings opportunity for BG as well as for Shell, because there's a lot of duplication between what these companies do. So if they can merge together, I'm sure they can extract out a lot of efficiencies, a lot of merger buzzwords here, and find a way to save money and kind of refocus on other areas where they're not currently engaged. So for Shell, what this means is the acquisition of really valuable gas pockets out in East Africa as well as Australia. And once they have that within its portfolio, they can start to look at other possible purchases or other possible places for mining so that they can continue to grow the company at a time where it's becoming a lot less valuable to do so.
Yeah, Shell the deal makes Shell, the world's largest natural gas producer in the world. So how important is it to be a big player in the grand scheme of things?
Well, natural gas is extremely popular throughout Europe, so it would be a great position for Shell to be in. They could continue to grow the company at a time where their oil reserves are starting to go down, as well as oil prices are starting to go down. So pivoting over into this section and getting such a valuable property through BG, through its reserves of gas, would be really helpful to Shell, and it's a great hedge against what might be continued slide in oil prices.
Speaking of that continued slide, we've had these Iran nuclear negotiations going on. There's the potential for Iranian sanctions to go away. That might drop oil lower. What would that mean in terms of this deal if oil keeps sliding? And do these companies now save on exploration?
Well, it seems that, I mean, on the one hand, it seems that these companies could certainly be hurt by any continued drop in oil prices, but having such a healthy portfolio of natural gas reserves would kind of allow them to hedge against that. So as long as they can do that for at least the foreseeable future, they should be okay. However, if we see any massive continuation of a slide or a drop in prices, it could start to hurt their bottom line after a while. But this makes a lot of sense. This merger makes a lot of sense in light of what's happening within oil prices and in light of the continued popularity of natural gas within Europe and elsewhere.
All right, Danielle Douglas-Gabriel from The Washington Post, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And you can keep up, of course, with the latest headlines right here on abcnews.com. You've been watching The Big Number. I'm Ty Hernandez in New York.